Did Robin Hood steal the accessible toilet? It's 2025, 15 years since the 2010 Equality Act, and Nottingham Forest do not have an accessible toilet in the away end of the city ground. Just think about that, read that back again, listen to it again. A Premier League club who reportedly pays Chris Wood £100,000 per week have not found a way to provide the basic human right of a toilet for paying away spectators. Okay, so I didn't wet myself, but the reasonable adjustment is to take away disabled spectators into the hostile home end to access the nearest accessible toilet. Not only that, you have to be escorted and work your way through a congested area. There is an accessible ramp, which also seems to double up as a seating area. Remaining an inconspicuous travelling fan was almost impossible. Luckily, we both play in red, and my southern accent helped me mask my Coppite roots. Marginally above Everton, this is one of the worst grounds in the Premier League for accessibility. But what was actually good and what was bad? Well, like Manchester United, Wolves, Southampton, Tottenham twice, and West Ham, it was easier to get accessible parking here than at Anfield. It cost me £10, but literally there was no problem on it being provided. It was on site and 200 yards away from the accessible entry point. Was anything else good? Well, the dodgy accessible loo was spacious, and the accessible stewards, known as welfare stewards, were friendly and helpful. So what was bad? Apart from the toilet, the entry to the away accessible enclosure also means going into the home concourse and being escorted in front of all of the home fans. In response to Forest fans, I do have a job and I don't sign on. The view of the beautiful game is pretty limited, not only because we are pitch side, but because of the absurd amount of stewards that were encouraged to sit in front of us. I don't mind safety and accessibility steward, but only when considerate and not taking their own photos and pictures of the game. A great bonus, however, was the view of Diego Jota equalising, captured by my PA. I'd like to reiterate a point that I made in previous blogs. The Premier League is deemed as the best football league in the world. Millions and millions of pounds are involved. Clubs have huge pockets for big transfers. There are lots of rules about the size of the pitch and financial fair play, but there doesn't seem to be any requirement on having world-class accessibility standards that match the world-class status of the league. Come on, Premier League, it's time to be more inclusive. Anyway, the Reds are still top of the league. Just.